to something else. Now, did you notice that in the week that Harold Evans, arguably one of the greatest campaigning newspaper editors this country has ever, possibly the world has ever seen, actually, died, the Sunday Times, which is a paper that he effectively crafted, has taken up on the scandal that we've been outlining for, feels like more than a month, about 6 weeks. I speak of the cladding scandal. Big, powerful piece in the Sunday Times yesterday, getting some celebrity backing as well. The Sunday Times saying this launches a campaign with Grenfell survivors, residents trapped in dangerous flats, and Inside Housing magazine. Carey Mulligan, the actress, has signed up, as has singer-songwriter Marcus Mumford, and a host of TV celebrities and cross-party MPs, all because of this cladding scandal. We're here at LBC. Reporter Rachel Venables has been tracking this and gets the latest details, and it's involving some of the residents who may well be featured in this. Morning to you, Rachel.
Good morning, Nick. Absolutely. We've been talking about this story for well over a month now, exposing how up to 3 million people are thought to be trapped in unsellable flats, while up to 700,000 people, roughly the population of Sheffield, are living in homes with dangerous flammable cladding. Well, now leasehold groups from all over the country have come together, along with the survivors group Grenfell United, to launch a campaign to end the cladding crisis. And today I can reveal they've written a letter to the Housing Secretary, Robert Jenrick, who you'll remember, Nick, you confronted about this issue earlier this month.
You're leaving people in effectively fire traps, but you're building new homes. Now, talk to me about the logic of that, Secretary of State.
Well, I think it's extremely important to be investing in new social and affordable homes. So I think you agree with that.
I don't know about
but
I think it's quite important that we don't have another Grenfell, don't you?
Well, I do think that. That's why we're working extremely hard to alleviate that. So why are we spending £12 billion on building new homes when we've got dangerous ones still in existence? For the second time, explain the logic of that, if you would, Secretary of State. Well, because this isn't just about government investment. We are investing a significant amount of money to help get the process going faster than it is today. But there's also other routes in which this is being funded.
Now, Nick, this letter to Robert Jenrick, which I've exclusively been sent a copy of, basically says that residents are concerned and, quite frankly, appalled that Robert Jenrick hasn't responded to their new requests to meet with them. They also have given him until the end of October for that. And they've come up with a 10-step plan to solve the crisis, including the expansion of the £1 billion Building Safety Fund. And they also ask for a fairer, faster process to replace the EWS1, the external wall survey forms, which, as we've reported, has a 10-year backlog. Now, in response, someone from the Ministry of Housing has said they are making homes safer with this £1.6 billion fund, and they also say that most buildings have now had the Grenfell-style cladding either removed or work to take it off is underway.
Rachel Venables reporting. Rachel, thank you for that. Let's bring into this conversation Lucie Gutfreund, who's a leaseholder in a building with a 10-year wait, I believe. Let's get the background from you. You know far greater. You're one of the signatories of the letter that Rachel has just mentioned. Talk us through, initially, your personal circumstances, if you would. Lucie, good morning.
Good morning, Nick. Hi. Thank you for having me on the show. So my personal circumstances is that I am a leaseholder in an under 18-metre building in South Kilburn in London. My building owner is a housing association, one of the largest one in this country. They have, I believe, over 6,000 buildings to deal with, to survey and potentially remediate. I found out earlier this year that I'm also affected in under 18-metre building, which wasn't really the case last year.
So is yours a ground floor? Is yours a house or a ground floor apartment, or where are you geographically in the building?
So I am on the ground floor, actually, in a 5-storey building. So I personally don't feel that unsafe.
No.
However,
worst case, you could just step out of the window, effectively.
Exactly. But this cladding scandal is also affecting me and my neighbours. So this year we have seen flats sales failed several times in our building and several attempts to remortgage. So some of my neighbours, they can't even get buy-to-let mortgage, so they can't even move out in the worst case if they need to rent somewhere else to accommodate their growing families, or if they need to relocate for a job.
You can't do rentals then, is that right?
We can rent out, but you need to get buy-to-let mortgage first.
Oh, I'm so sorry, I see what you
difficult.
mean. Yeah.
Yes.
OK, I mean, I'm sure you understand, Lucie, this isn't going to be rectified overnight. It's a major undertaking by a government. What are the first steps they should be taking?
So we want for the government to commit to take control over the entire process, to lead an urgent national action to remove all dangerous cladding from buildings within the next couple of years. We can't just simply leave this up to the building owners who are dragging their feet. We need government intervention now. We need for the government to allocate resources, more surveyors, or come up with a better system, because the current EWS1 survey system is simply not working. There are not enough surveyors in this country.
Do you think the banks could be more helpful as well, lastly, Lucie?
Yes, that's for sure. They could be. In theory, they should not be asking for this EWS1 certificate for under 18-metre buildings, but they're still doing so. And the Ministry of Housing, they continue to repeat to us that, the banks shouldn't be asking for this. But that doesn't help us. I mean, if Robert Jenrick or Christopher Pincher could give me that in writing to give to my bank when I come to the mortgage, I would be very grateful. But I don't think they will be willing to help with that.
Do stay in touch. As you know, it's something that we've been working on for well over a month now, and we're not going to let it go. And candidly, it's been given a lot of emphasis, I would suggest, by the newspaper title, The Sunday Times, getting involved as well. A fairly powerful axis in operation. Lucie Gutfreund, I wish you good luck with your personal problems there. We might take your... It always gets calls, actually, this conversation, because there's around 3 million people trapped in these sort of homes that either they can't sell, or obviously they have concerns over their dangers or their safety.